Greetings to the fellow examiners. Today, I would like to present my final project which titled Multidisciplinary 3D Spectral Analysis of Murum Dam for Seismic Hazard Assessment. This project is supervised by Dr. Liliana Roslan. As introduction, earthquake is a seismic phenomenon that happens in the form of ground shaking due to the sudden slipping of the fault lines which consist of rocks along the ground. The figure shows the current seismic level in Sarawak. For the problem statement, first, Sarawak has experienced a seismic effect arose from the run-out of quake in Sabah in 2015, and this led to the possibility for earthquake to happen in Sarawak as well. Next, the earthquake normally happens in dam area because the seismic zone is always the best location to build a dam due to the forming of river valley from the fault line slipping. The forming of river valley helps to enable the function of hydropower dam. Next, the seismic research carried out in Sarawak region is still very limited compared to Peninsular Malaysia, which including the structural analysis and 3D spectral analysis which will be conducted in this project. For the research care, first, as mentioned earlier in problem statement, the seismic research carried out in Sarawak is still very insufficient and the researchers are very difficult to forecast the seismic activities in future and are unable to take the safety action earlier. Next, according to the previous research, 2D finite element analysis or 2D FBA is commonly used in research, but actually is not applicable because we are unable to look into the details from 2D FBA and the results achieved are inaccurate and inconsistent. Next, the earthquake normally are induced by the collapsing of reservoir due to the excessive pore water pressure acting on the dam reservoir system. So, the water is an important element in analysis, but the hydrodynamic analysis is still not being taken seriously. So, the research purpose and objective includes the investigation of structure of Murum Dam in order to determine the potential damage caused by the seismic hazard. Therefore, there is a series of 3D finite element analysis conducted in this project, which are static structural analysis, hydrodynamic analysis, model analysis, and response pattern analysis. In literature review, first, we look through the forming of fault lines. In the earth crust, there is a component called the tectonic plate, which is also known as the earth rocky inner layer. Normally, the tectonic plates are sliding against or drifting away from each other. When they are sliding against each other, there will be an interaction line called the fault lines. The fault lines hold the rocks and prevent the slipping on the rocks. However, when the excessive stress acting on the ground, the rock releases the potential energy and the rock starts to collapse. The ground starts to shake and the earthquake happens. Why dams are often built above the fault lines? Because when earthquake occurs, the ground will be uplifted. In the river area, the river erodes the ground to form a valley, and the end of the valley is the ideal point to build the dams. This is the overview of previous earthquake occurrence in Sarawak. And this is the PGA contour map of Sarawak with a 10% probability of accidents in 50 years. In this project, the seismic analysis is conducted on Murum Dam, which is located at Belaga and has the 3% of gravity of PGA. Then, this is the previous finite element analysis on seismic studies. It is observed that the maximum capacity of the Murum Dam is out to 0.1 gravity, which is suitable for the low seismicity condition in Sarawak. And most of the 3D seismic studies on them focus on structural limit without considering external influence such as the reservoir. In methodology, first, this is a flowchart for finite element modeling, which starts from geometry modeling based on the data collected until inserting the boundary initial and loading condition and start the simulation. This is the material parameters of Murum Dam model, including the water on reservoir, concrete on dam, and this is the geometry of Murum Dam. And the static structural analysis is conducted to determine the total deformation and principal stress of the dam model. First, we create a model, apply the laws, obtain solutions, and validate the results. And the model analysis is conducted to determine the mock stress of the dam model with their corresponding natural frequencies. First, we generate a model, apply the flexible laws, obtain solution, expand the model, and validate the result. And lastly, the response spectral analysis is conducted to determine the peak response on total deformation and equivalent stress of dam model based on the input data collected. First, we create a model, acquire the model solutions, acquire the spectrum solutions, expand the MOS, combine the MOS, and validate the results. In addition, the top figure shows the input data graph taken from the reliable source and will be used to conduct the response spectral analysis later, and the bottom figure shows the ANSYS graph plotted based on the data given from the above, and this proves that the ANSYS software can be used to conduct response spectral analysis by using the same data. Now, we look into the results and discussions. First, this is the dam reservoir structure in cross-section view. The rainbow color is the reservoir system imported with the water pressure, whereas the gray color is the dam systems. In this project, the reservoir system is playing a role as a water assistant component to provide the water effect to the dam. However, we will mainly look into the results of dam section only instead of whole model. In static structural analysis, first, for total deformation, with one gravity yield equal to 9.81 meter per second square, When the background acceleration equal to 0.225 gravity, there is no deformation occur at the dam section or equal to 0. Then, when the acceleration increases to the 0.425 gravity, the deformation started occur at the mid-crest section of the dam with the value of 20 cm. Then, when the acceleration increased, the deformation at the mid-crest section of the dam will also increase based on the value represented by a rainbow scale. For principal stress, the maximum stress occurs at the dam foundation or at the bottom of the dam sections for each value of background accelerations. Also, similar to the total deformation, when the background acceleration increased, the maximum stress will also increase at the dam foundation or at the bottom section of the dam. And this is the data tabulation of the static structural analysis for both total deformation and principal stress results. And in conclusion, the maximum deformation occur at the mid-crest sections of the dam, and the maximum principal stress occur at the dam foundation or at the bottom section of the dam. From model analysis, there are 6 modes displayed in each background acceleration or PGAs. The mode shares among each PGA are similar, as well as the natural frequencies and total deformations respectively. For example, mode 1 in 0.25 gravity is similar to mode 1 in other PGAs. As a result, in mode 1, the dam model bend in transverse directions with natural frequencies of 2.0680 Hz. In mode 2, the dam model bends outwards and downwards continuously with the natural frequencies of 2.1364 Hz. In mode 3, the dam model bends in transverse directions but deform more violent than in mode 1 with the natural frequencies of 2.2245 Hz. In mode 4, the dam twisted or bent forward and backward with natural frequencies of 2.5476 Hz. In mode 5, the dam model bends outwards and downwards continuously but deform more violent than that in mode 2 with natural frequencies of 2.7351 Hz. In mode 6, with natural frequencies of 3.2085 Hz, the dam model bends forward and backward. So this is the data tabulation for the results of model analysis, and in conclusion, the maximum deformation occur at the mid-crest section of the dam. For response spectrum analysis, first, these are the response acceleration graph plotted based on the input data taken from the 3 regions which experienced the seismic hazards before, including Pasadena from California, Tosha from Turkey, and Iodine from Turkey. As the results of response spectrum analysis, for total deformation part, the deformation values are similar under the same regions of input data amongst all the PGAs. So first, we look at the Pasadena regions. The maximum deformation occurs at the mid-crest section with a greenish yellow, and then for the Tosha region, the maximum deformation also occurs at the mid-crest section of the dam. For the Iodine region, similar to the previous two, the maximum deformation also occurs at the mid-crest section of the dam. For the equivalent stress part, the stress value and the location of maximum stress are similar under the same regions of input data amongst all the PGAs. So, for the Pasadena regions, the maximum stress occurs at the dam foundation or at the bottom section of the dam. For the Tulsa regions, the maximum stress also occurs at the dam foundations or at the bottom of the dam. Similar to previous two, the maximum stress for RT sections also occur at the dam foundations. So this is the data tabulation of the response spectrum analysis results. As conclusion, the values of maximum deformation and equivalent stress are lowest under the response spectrum analysis by using the Pasadena data, whereas the values of maximum deformation and equivalent stress are highest under the response spectrum analysis by using the Iodine input data. Also, the maximum deformations occurs at the mid-crest section of the dam, whereas the maximum stress occurs at the dam foundation or at the bottom section of the dam. In conclusions, among the static structural analysis, model analysis, and response spectrum analysis, the maximum total deformation mostly occurs at mid-crest sections, whereas the maximum stress mostly occurs at the dam foundation or at the bottom section of the dam. In addition, Murum dam was designed to withstand not more than 0.1 gravity seismic excitation, which means the earthquake will happen at the area of Murum dam when the earthquake magnitude is greater than 6.0. The inclusion of the reservoir body into analysis emphasized clearly that the development of tensile zone is more rapid at the reservoir bed compared to the dam foundation itself due to the hydrodynamic pressure. Lastly, I recommend that the structural properties of Murum dam can be improved by inserting brass or utilizing the fiber reinforced concrete. The geometry of Murum dam model can be improved by changing and specifying the properties of materials. It's better to use the data from United States Geological Survey (USGS) to undergo a seismic hazard assessment. That's all for my presentation. Thank you for your attention.